Charlie, this is a real gamble from Macron here, isn't it?
A gamble and also totally unexpected. It came as a huge surprise across Europe and even inside many of the leading commentators in France itself saying, what on earth is going on here? Why has he made this call? And the lead up to these European elections happening and results coming in today, there was almost a panicked approach from Macron's Renaissance Party saying, if we don't come out, if there is a low turnout, we risk facing a significant right-wing victory. But Macron has been fighting from a troubled base for many years now. He's the first incumbent president to not have a majority in the Assembly since 1997. This is the first hung parliament in France since 1988. And all of that division, that lack of power in Macron's hands, has led to several circumstances where he's tried to push through some quite radical reforms from a French perspective. And that's been met with a significant pushback. Just last year, we almost had King Charles III having his first foreign trip to France last March. You'll recall that was cancelled due to significant rioting in Paris at the time, and indeed across many of the urban centres in the country, because he wanted to raise the pension age. But because he has a minority rule in the government, he wasn't able to do so. This and many other situations, particularly around immigration, crime and terrorism, the core campaigning messages of the National Rally, the right-wing party, which saw over 32% of the vote last night, has now led to quite a significant difference. What the National Rally are saying is an unprecedented difference between the opinions of the people in the country and those in the elite, in control, in power. This has led to that schism we saw last night. But it's not just France. We also saw for the first time in Austria their right-wing party top of the polls there. Significant gains for Geert Wilders in the Netherlands, the Freedom Party in Sweden, the populists in Italy, even the Vox Party in Spain polling around 10%. So a surge for right-wing parties in Europe coming at the expense of the Greens. And it looks as though Macron could be the first significant pro-EU centrist continental leader to really face punishment from those effects.
Do you think this marks a turning point for the unity of the European Union? Because some people are saying, actually, that the European Union is under threat.
The unity of the European Union will be under threat if the unity of the right can be achieved, because there are so many splintered groups on the continent, and the voting system is different to ours. That can work out in their favour in many ways. But there are issues now, particularly in France, about whether or not there is a chance to unite the right, as they say. This National Rally Party polling at 32%, levels not seen since the Second World War. And a corner has been turned in France in the perspective on the National Rally. For many decades, it was associated with collaboration with the Nazis in the Second World War, demagoguery, jackboots, anti-democratic, and all the rest of it. That perspective has shifted quite significantly in recent years. A plurality of French people no longer see the National Rally as that great threat. And so if they can continue to gather votes, in some parts of the country, 60% of the French were voting for the National Rally last night. That so-called cordon sanitaire, the protection around them that stops other right-wing parties from associating with Le Pen's party, that's gone. Okay, the protective film that covers this unit, that group, has completely disappeared. And now I think for the first time since the Second World War, there is a realistic possibility of a right-wing government in France of that nature.
Wow. Charlie Peters, thank you very much.